Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we will go ahead and get started.
Cool.
First one is going to come from Gene Fournette. We're going to go over to Kim Jones from the NFL Network.
Hi, Tom. When I think you and Jason Pierre-Paul first became teammates, he told me you said something to him like, "Now you don't have to chase me around anymore." I just wonder, as a human and a football teammate, if you ever look at what he's done, particularly with his compromised right hand, and kind of marvel at what that must have taken for him to do all of that.
I've obviously played against JPP quite a bit, and absolutely love getting the chance to know him and be his teammate. He's absolutely everything you look for in a competitor and a teammate. His leadership, not only his play style in the game, but how he practices, his work ethic. He's a relentless guy. He's a relentless competitor, and he's got incredible mental toughness. And he's just, when you look over at that defense and you see him out there, everyone loves seeing JPP out there making plays, because when he's making plays, the whole defense is making plays. And Shaq and Dominican's making plays. Vita, then you got Levante, you got Devin making plays, guys in the secondary making plays. So, but JPP's absolutely like a ringleader of that group. He's just, when he's going, everyone's going, and he brings a lot of juice. So we love seeing him out there. I love playing with the guy, and love getting to know him. He's an amazing guy, amazing player.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Charlie Clifford.
Tom, congrats on a great run, man.
Thank you.
Back on the Peyton thing, if you were asked to give a short story about him, let's say at his induction, what would that be? And also, with the rivalry with Eli, can you differentiate the rivalry with Peyton? Does one rank higher than the other?
Yeah, well, obviously the Colts were in the division. I played against them, Peyton a lot. It seemed like they were in our division. They were when I first started in the league, and then they moved to the South, out of the East into the South when Houston came into the league. But and then Eli playing in the NFC East. We didn't get to play those guys. We played them every preseason, so we had a lot of great games. Unfortunately, didn't always do our best against that team. Played always a little bit better against the Colts than the Giants. But both. It's really amazing what Peyton and Eli did in the NFL, and Archie, to have three pro quarterbacks who were as tremendous players, leaders, high achievers that they were. Says a lot about their family. So I always just had great respect for all of them. They were great competitors, great leaders, and happy Peyton's got another amazing accomplishment in his career. And respect Peyton for being the number one overall pick, really living up to the standard of a number one pick on and off the field. And he always seemed to do things the right way. And he would, there was always a story that when I first played them, it was my first start. I went out early, and I went up to Peyton, and I had never really talked to him. And I said, "Hey, Peyton, I'm Tom Brady here." I think I walked over. He says, "Hey, what's up, Tom?" And that kind of, blew me away that he knew who I was, which was pretty cool. And again, been friends ever since.
We're going to go over to Karen Loftus from WFLA.
Hey, Tom, I want to go back to talking about Byron real quick. He may be the epitome of toughness when you talk about his time in Marshall. If you remember his one-leg game where he finishes the game with a broken leg and his offensive linemen are carrying him down the field.
Yeah.
What does that do to set the tone for this team, knowing that you have an OC that is such a warrior? And do you think that some of the younger guys have even seen this video?
If they haven't, they need to. And Byron, I talked about that day, and it happened. He went, left the stadium and got x-rays, drove back to the stadium, went back in the game and finished it and balled out, and, I think it's really an example of who he is, because he's a great competitor, wants to be out there for his team, and it was going to give it everything that he has. And it's the same way that he coaches. He gives everything he's got. So again, just a great leader. We love playing for him. He's high expectations for us. He just has a great demeanor. Nothing ever in the end really gets under his skin. You know, he's got great poise, and he's just got an amazing sense of poise under duress. And it's a great attribute to have for a coach. And he's got a lot of great years ahead as a coach, and I'm sure he'll be a head coach very soon.
Our last one's going to go from Tom Rock at Newsday.
Tom, I was hoping you could talk a little bit about how you were able to forge such a close relationship with AB in such a short amount of time. And also, if it reminds you of any other relationships that you've had in this league. I'm thinking maybe Randy Moss, who was sort of had some bumps along his career, and then found you and was able to get to his best. Yeah,
I think my relationship with every player, whether it was Randy and AB, it just starts with I don't have any predisposed notions of how things will go or how they should go. I just try to get to know everybody. I try to, in my own way, be a positive influence in their life. They're a positive influence in my life. Randy and I connected right away. Antonio and I connected right away. And he has a great love for the game, is a real perfectionist about how he plays, how he takes care of himself. Incredible football IQ. And then again, a great skill set just as a player. And I think made incredible strides over the last 12 months to get from where he was at to where he's at now. And I think that's one of the, again, for me as an older player, I think the impact that I want to have as I continue to move forward is help other people maximize their potential. And I feel like, I'm obviously on the much closer to the end than the beginning. I have the ability to help people through my own experiences to help them be the best they could be. And I think that's the enjoyable part, because it's one thing to go out and throw passes, and that's fun. And I love that. And I love winning and all that. But, we all have lives. We all have, everybody is dealing with life, which, is not always the easiest thing for all of us. So, you just try to provide some words of support or advice or, again, care for people. I think that's a really important thing that we need to do, that all of us need to do. We need to care for people more and allow people to blossom and be the best they could be, because they can trust you and that you believe in them and you want to ultimately see them succeed. And I think that's a great part about sports. It's a great part about life and investing time in people and seeing people grow. I mean, that's one of the great things about being a professional athlete, certainly an older professional athlete that is surrounded by a lot of younger players who I want to see them succeed.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.